Hey, Floor. Hey, Angela. Hey, Bunny Balloon. Ew, your breath reeks. I want to see if I can get her to do the foot thing. Hang on, let me see if I can do it. Hang on. Not that. Oh my gosh, she's actually doing it. Her leg was kicking. How you doing? Ew, ew, don't lick me. Your breath is gross. Oh, I love Rachie. She's got a voice like an angel. One can only dream of having her voice. Okay, guys, before we actually start working on art, I need to quickly write an apology letter to my mom's boyfriend because earlier I said some bad things about him and I didn't know he was in the room. I know that makes me sound like an even shittier person, but I basically said some things and I made him feel bad, so now I'm gonna write him a letter if that's okay with you guys. But we can still talk about stuff. So, how are you guys doing on this fine Saturday night? I mean, I don't know if it's night where you guys are, but how are you guys doing on this fine Saturday? Oh, you just leap like a deer. Hey, Sugar Cookie. It's good to see you. It's good to see you, my amino peeps here. All right, how should I start? Dear Steven, I'm very sorry about things I said at Oopsies. I messed that up. A Monster energy drink, huh? That's how you stay up? I stay up with coffee. Mm. I swear, there's just like a bundle of blankets, and my dog is sitting. Oh, Misty, what are you doing? Go! You're stepping all over the Lugu. You're stepping all over her. Okay, this is what I have so far. I'm very sorry about the things I said at your mom's house. I was acting without thinking, and that was stupid of me to do. Nice, but it could use a little more. You burned your finger on the stove. I'm sorry. Okay, let me think. Shoot. Give me a sec, guys. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear my phone over here. It's like a Game Grumps thing. I just want something to listen to while I write this. Makes me feel a little better because I was crying a little bit earlier when I was talking to my mom about this. That's good. It's not good to have that burning feeling lingering on whatever part of your skin. I know we love each other. Claire, huh? No, it's okay. I was kind of late to starting up the stream too because I was talking to my mom about something I said about her boyfriend earlier. My mom's boyfriend and I, we don't exactly have the best relationship with each other. Obviously, we do love each other and we do have a good laugh with each other every once in a while, but he kind of has this thing where he can be a jerk at times, and I can take a lot of the things he says too personally even when he's not yelling at me or trying to offend me. I've just been easily offended for most of my teenage life. Mm, I- Hey, Miles. Thanks. I made it myself. Right now, I'm working on writing an apology letter to my mom's boyfriend because I said some pretty bad things about him, and I just feel really terrible about it. Well, I think that my family from Wisconsin are coming for Christmas, or maybe I think they're coming on Sunday or something. And I don't know. Your mom shouldn't have to work on Christmas. Like, no one should have to work on Christmas. That's just not fair. Alright, this is what I have. I'm very sorry about the things I said at your mom's house. I was acting without thinking, and that was stupid of me to do. I want us to have a good relationship, and I know we love each other, even if we don't always get along. I've just been easily offended by things for most of my teenage life. I don't know why, though. Sometimes I just feel like you're being mean and gruff to me, and I can't really handle my anger. Either way, I am very, very, very sorry. Emily. What do you think? Does that sound good? Really? Thanks, Crasher Point. I'll just fold it up real nicely. Oopsies. I'll just put his name on the front in cursive. There we go. Hey, Teensy the Fox. Welcome. I'll just set that right there. I'll set it on his, like, bedside table or something later. I really like this one, too. It's like a Detroit Become Human Happy Tree Friends crossover art I did with Flippy as Connor. It's one of Connor's most famous lines. Just like 28 stab wounds. Sure. Sure, I could draw you. Just submit a picture of what you look like onto your YouTube channel and I'll check it out later. I actually have some like headcanon voices in mind for some of the Happy Tree Friend characters. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he's this YouTuber called Rogue, Teh and then Rogue. Um, he has a very smooth and chill voice, and the voice that he does for Ink Sands, it's like this high pitched prepubescent voice, kinda, and it just kind of sounds like, "Oh, hey, it's nice to see you again," or something like that. And I just think that voice, like his voice for Ink Sands, would be like perfect for Flippy. Hang on, I'll try to find like a link or something, and I'll put it in the chat. Give me a sec. Mm. There you go. You're welcome. Sure you can. I mean, I might be a little late on posting it because the how I've been posting my art lately is because I use the printer that's at my school to scan my drawings and then I just email them to myself from the school printer and then I download them as a JPEG and then I post them. That's how I've been posting things lately. And I might have to color it traditionally, so I just hope that the colors are not too complicated because I can't blend colors a bit good with colored pencils. And hello, Hero Decky and Porcupine. Yes, have you heard they're putting chemicals in the water that are turning the frickin' frogs gay? Yeah, that's just my headcanon voice for Flippy. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna tell you straight out how each character is in my AU. I'm gonna start with Flippy because he's my favorite. Flippy is very sweet and kind and somewhat of a pushover, and he is also very romantic and very courteous because as a soldier he was taught to be very respectful, and he has one of those things where like he'll when you put your hands behind your back and you kind of hold your wrist like this and you just go like this. That's kind of something that he does when he wants to be formal or if he's being a little bit shy. And sometimes he'll just put his hands in his pockets casually because he's also a very he's also a very relaxed and carefree person even when he does have all these worries in the world. He just doesn't want to worry about them too much unless it's in the moment because it just stresses him out and it's not good for his mental health. And he also has a bit of a short temper. You might have seen in my Two Sides comic, Flippy has a very very bad temper. When something makes him really 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 mad, oh my gosh, he goes freaking berserk, and loud noises and any noise in general that disturbs his peace and quiet, as you've seen in the show, it can make him mad or stressed out. And I have that headcanon that he does not like any kind of disturbing noises at all, and that's kind of where his temper comes from. I was never really a big fan of Drake and Josh. I don't know. I just never really liked the what was the name of the character that Miranda Cosgrove played? Wasn't it like Megan? Wasn't she one of Drake? Wasn't she like Drake's sister in that show? I was never really a big fan of her because she always seemed to get away with whatever stunts she was pulling. Yeah, Megan. Megan. She just seemed to get away with whatever stunts she was pulling, and I really don't like it when a bratty character gets away with whatever crap they're pulling. I mean, in a sense, that's one of the reasons why I don't like Diary of a Wimpy Kid because Roderick always gets away with the cruel stuff he does to Greg, and it's just so annoying how there's no justice at all. There's no freaking justice. I just hate scenarios like that. But I don't really know. I was just never really a big Drake and Josh fan. But I did like shows like iCarly and Victorious and Sam and Cat. I just wish Sam and Cat hadn't ended so soon. It really had everything going for it. Yeah, I've heard of such a movie, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it because I was never really a Drake and Josh fan. Anyway, back to talking. What character do you want me to talk about next? Alright, I'll talk about Lammy. Lammy is a very childish girl, and she doesn't typically act her age, but she still talks like a very mature adult sometimes. And she is very kind and thoughtful, and she's very optimistic, sometimes a little too optimistic for her own good. And she really knows how to cheer people up and make them smile, and she tries to make them look on the bright side. She's kind of like she's kind of like Poppy from Trolls. She's a little too optimistic for her own good, and she acts very childish for her age. Konnichiwa. It is very nice to make your acquaintance, Frieza-chan. I don't think I've ever seen you around here before, so welcome, if this is your first time. Okay, where is it? There it is. Oh, yep, I need that one, and I need that one. Another thing is, Lammy, despite the fact that she lives a very happy, healthy life, her sanity isn't always the best, because there's a scene, the current scene in this comic, in my Two Sides comic that I'm working on, where if something happens to her that doesn't really make any sense, or like defies what she thinks she knows, and like it just happens way too fast, she'll kind of go a little insane, and she'll just kind of laugh maniacally to herself, or she'll be like she'll just kind of lose herself a little bit, where she thinks she's going insane or something. So her sanity isn't always the best, but it's not the worst either. Yeah, that's Lammy in my AU. What do you think? Am I missing any colors? Pink. I'm missing pink. Hello, Chica Chicken. Welcome. That's cool. I have no idea what you're talking about, Miles, but that's cool. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right, Crasher Point. She kind of loses her sanity. But she doesn't enjoy being insane. In fact, it scares her and makes her question. It makes her question where she is and what she's doing, or if anything is even real. It kind of sends her into a frenzy. Let me think. Hmm. I don't really think so. I mean, not really. I mean, a lot of like every single character in my AU, they have a certain thing about them that makes them like they're very relatable in some terms. Like Flippy is relatable because he has PTSD, and a lot of soldiers do get PTSD. Flickby is very relatable because he kind of hates what he is, or thinks of himself as a monster, and it makes him belligerent, and it makes him lash out at himself. Flaky has social anxiety, and it's very hard for her to fit in normally, so that's very relatable. Splendid has lost a lot of his family, and he feels very alone, and he feels like he needs to isolate himself, because he feels like if he keeps letting people in, then he's just going to lose them. A lot of people can relate to that as well. And Lammy has felt abandoned by her family because they thought that she was weird or abnormal. She was practically the black sheep, even though she pretty much is a sheep. She did not fit in, and it just drove her nuts. So basically she was neglected, and a lot of children actually are neglected by their families for whatever dumb reason. Handy is relatable because he fought with his parents a lot and also his sisters. He was a very angry child growing up, and when he was an adult, he was like, "Oh my god, what did I do? Why was I so cruel to them when they were just trying to help me?" Because he got really angry at how he constantly needed help, and that made him lash out at his lash out at his family, and it was just they basically have something about them that is relatable. I just try to make each character as relatable as I possibly can. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys can relate to some of them. Like maybe you fight with your parents a lot and you don't realize how terrible you make them feel until later. What is Eugene's profile picture? Wait. Oh yeah, I see it now. Never mind. Giggles is relatable because she only grew up with her mom, and her dad was basically a womanizing asshole who left her mom when he got what he wanted from her, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of people out there who will only be nice to a girl, and then he'll just up and leave her once he gets what he wants. Yes, yes, actually I am. Also, thank you for calling me cute. That was very nice of you to say. That's not very appropriate. Please don't talk about that. It's okay. Just don't break the rules. Otherwise, I'm going to have to put you in the timeout. And basically the rules are don't spam the same message in the chat. Don't over don't don't be mean. Don't Yeah, yeah, it can also be reversed. I'm not saying that it's exclusive only to men, but I'm just saying that okay, let's just say people in general can do that. They will take advantage of someone purely for their own pleasures, not because they want to be in a relationship with someone, but just because they just want something they just want something from them, and then they're just going to drop them like a hot tamale. Hmm. Now I'll tell you about Giggles. Giggles is a very sweet chipmunk, but she's also very clumsy and she has a bit of a shy demeanor, kind of like Flaky does. She was very confident and outgoing when she was like in middle school, and a lot of guys actually flirted with her a lot as well as they did with Flaky. The difference is Flaky kind of retracted from all the attention she was getting, but Giggles didn't really seem to mind it. But at the same time, she kind of wished they would stop because it was just making it harder for her to remember that she had feelings for her best friend that she had known since they were babies, and that's Petunia. And Giggles also has a thing where she can have a bit of low sanity because it's very easy for her to get traumatized by something. Um, if you want to pay me, you can. You can just pay me in amino coins. I mean, I'm not going to ask you for a crazy, ridiculous amount, but my drawings do take time, whether it's digital or traditional. Um, but if you want to pay me, you can. I don't really mind. How old am I? I am. Actually, you know what? Why don't you take a guess? Take a guess. No one tell him. Take a guess how old I am, Eugene. Take a guess. I mean, if you do decide to pay me Crasher Point, you can. The most I'll ask for is probably 30 amino coins. That's probably the most I'll ask for, but you don't have to pay me if you don't want to. No, I'm not. I'm not 13. I'm not 12. I'm 18. Yeah, I don't really feel 18 though. I mean, I do, but it took a while for it to sink in. Um, you can. Don't worry. The most I'll ask for is like 30. Just give me 30 amino coins if you want to pay me. You don't have to pay me. I'm more than happy to do this without the need for payment. But if you want to, it's completely up to you. Just go ahead and give me 30, okay? That's all I'll ask for. Because I want to be fair. I'm not going to be a high heavy demander because I don't want to be. I don't know what a feminist is. I don't even know what feminism is. Can someone please explain to me what feminism is? Now I'll talk about Sniffles. Sniffles is he is kind for the most part, but he can also seem a bit rude because he seems more concerned about his work than spending time with his friends. But that's mostly just because he feels like work is the utmost importance and if he doesn't get it done, then he'll fall behind. But he really does like to hang out with his friends and he wants more time with them, but at the same time he needs to prioritize and get the work done first. But sometimes he will put it off for a while so he can hang out with his friends and also Nutty because Nutty he knows that Nutty likes to spend a lot of time with him. Hmm. Well, I do believe that women should be treated equally because just because we're women, that doesn't mean we deserve to be treated like garbage because women are actually like women are like we're really good at a lot of things. I mean, we make life possible. We are very intelligent and I'm not saying that men aren't intelligent, but I don't know. I'm just going to say that I believe that women deserve equal rights because To say that we can't do anything as good as a boy can do, that's just not fair. That's pretty much being sexist. Yeah, Bunny Balloon is a lesbian, and she's also a very good friend of mine. Bunny and I are actually pretty close in age. We're like only a year apart. Okay, so I'm outlining Splendid right now, and I just love the expression that he's giving. He's just like hovering in the air and he's got his legs scrunched up and he's just like, of all the rotten look, are you kidding me right now? Because he's at Flippy's house and he's trying to rescue Flaky, but Flippy is home now and he's just like, oh, come on, are you seriously kidding me? You're interested in money, huh? I don't really like money. It makes people greedy and selfish, and they think that money is the most important thing in the world. I don't mind getting it so I can provide for myself and also get nice things, but I just don't like how people think money is what matters most in life. I think what matters most in life is being yourself and being there for your friends and family and treating others like they deserve. Plus, money can't buy love. Don't take offense to this, but the SpongeBob character, Mr. Krabs, I do not like Mr. Krabs. He is my least favorite character in SpongeBob because he's very greedy and selfish and it just becomes so unbearable. It's kind of like I don't know. He's just so annoying and he can be really gross at times too. Yeah, he's funny sometimes and he's good for memes, but at the same time, he's just a horrible, horrible, selfish, cruel, greedy person. He would much rather he would I mean, he sold SpongeBob out to the Flying Dutchman for like 62 cents and he freaking he would I'm pretty sure he pretty much almost got he got SpongeBob and Squidward almost killed by a giant clam just because he wanted his millionth dollar back. He pretty much used them as live bait, and he threw away all their food and almost starved them to death just because he wanted that stupid dollar back. Like, that's so selfish. He just lacks empathy. I just hate people who value money over a human life. Oh, yeah. The deadly sin, greed. So smooth. But anyway, back to Sniffles. He's also very neat, tidy, and organized, and he feels like success is very important. And if he doesn't succeed at something, his confidence goes down. And he's not very romantically experienced. And also the fact that he found himself falling in love with Nutty, who is a guy and also his friend. He just couldn't understand it, and it was hard for him to cope with it a little bit. And he doesn't really like talking about their relationship with other people a whole lot. He doesn't like giving all the raw details. He just kind of gives them a bit of he just kind of gives a bit of like, yeah, we're fine, or yeah, we're good. He just gives basic answers. Oh, well, thank you. Just just comment on my wall on Amino and just send me a reference for your character that you want me to draw and I'll try to get it done as soon as possible. But even if I do get it done tomorrow or whatever, I'm probably not going to get it posted until my Christmas break is over because I rely on the printers at school. Very interesting to hear an internet person say that because usually people on the internet and just people in general are not very good at waiting. My little sister has terrible, terrible patience. She cannot wait for anything, and when she has to wait, she throws a temper tantrum and whines about it. I mean, I'm not a very patient person myself, but I sometimes feel like if I can distract myself with something else, that makes waiting not such a hard thing. Did you know that Sniffles' favorite show in my AU is The Big Bang Theory? And I actually really like The Big Bang Theory myself because it's really funny. I like this one scene where it's like down in the laundry room and Sheldon's like to Amy, who's his girlfriend, wife, whatever, and he's like to her, "Here, I just did your laundry and I even folded your underwear." And she's like, "That's not my underwear." And he's like, he unfolds the underwear and it's like frickin' enormous. And he's like, "You're sure this is not your underwear?" And she's like, "Yes." And then he said, "So I just did a random stranger's laundry?" And she says, "Yes." And then he's like, he just drops it dead, like dead where he stands. That's a good method. That's a good method, Floor. That's a good method for waiting. Yeah, that's something that I stress about too. Part of my anxiety. I feel like if I take too long to do something, people will start hating me and they'll start thinking that I'm unreliable. Oh, Tumblr. You mean you mean that place that used to be a really cool website but is now just a joke? I get why they did the NSFW ban, but like maybe it was just maybe some things are just not meant to change. I mean, as an autistic person, change is hard for me to cope with because autistic people will typically reject change because they're so used to something that anything different from what they're normally used to will confuse them and stress them out. Um, oh, there it is. So I just feel like whenever something changes, I just feel like it's kind of like the end of the world. You sound like my cousin Bunny Balloon. Anytime I say something that's sarcastic but oddly relatable, she's like, "Me!" Okay, now I'm erasing the pencil lines. Now I'll tell you about Nutty in my AU. Nutty is pretty much how he is in the show. Candy addicted, hyper, jittery, and pretty much he eats nothing but sweets. I think Nutty might have autism or ADHD. I think that's actually I think he might actually have autism or something like that. You guys think that could be possible? Do you guys think Nutty from Happy Tree Friends, do you think he might have autism? Yeah, you think so? You guys have you guys ever heard of mm, well, if you're my friend, then you kind of have a background with autism. I don't know what people classify autism as. I don't know if it's like a learning disorder or if it's just something that's just there. But either way, it does set me apart from a lot of other people. And I've actually met some people at my school who actually have autism, and they have the same autism as me. They have Asperger's syndrome. Oh, come on. Don't be so negative about yourself. That's not really a good opening statement either. I don't need people being over negative in the chat. That's a no-no. I mean, you can drop something negative every once in a while like, yeah, this is something that happened and I'll be like, "Oh no, that's terrible." And then we'll talk about it for a little bit and then you'll move on with it because that's what you're supposed to do because you feel better about it and you're not supposed to dwell on it for too long because that's bad for your health. Can you stop spamming things, please? I'm not going to show that message. This person literally just said that they hated their daughter because she was a bitch. That's not very nice to say. You shouldn't be saying things like that about your daughter if you have one. You shouldn't. Okay, okay, you're going into timeout. That should be your opening statement. I'm a mod bitch. Anyway, again about Nutty. Nutty, I know in the show that he seems to care more about candy than the lives of his friends because he's often gotten people killed just because he wants candy. And yeah, that's still the case. Candy is pretty much his whole world still in my AU, but he also does admit that he values his friends and family's life. I have no clue. You mean that you're physically unable to put someone in a timeout, like you don't have that option? Is that what you're saying? Oh, I don't know anything about Ibis Paint. I used Sketch, and it took me a while to learn how to use it, but I actually found some pretty good methods that worked for me. But I don't know anything about Ibis Paint. You might want to talk to Fem Fan Artist on the Happy Tree Friends Amino because she knows more about Ibis Paint than me because that's what she uses. Oh, yeah, I want to show you this. When we were at my mom's boyfriend's house, his family got me some presents. They got me these really cool pens right here. They're ultra fine line markers. His mom also got me a calligraphy pen set. I might go get it and then I'll show you guys later. But it looks pretty cool. Apparently calligraphy comes from two Greek words, but I forgot what they were called. But apparently combined together they make, apparently it translates to beautiful writing or something like that. I don't know. I know one of them started with a K. Okay, now I'm gonna um yeah, I'm on a break, except it's Christmas break. I am on break. I'm on Christmas break. But Nutty, he values his friends and family's lives, but he still does lose himself over Candy because of course he is Nutty. He says that someday he wants to marry Sniffles, even though Sniffles is like, marriage, but I really don't know. I don't think that would be appropriate, but so another thing about Nutty is that sometimes he'll just run around town randomly glomping people because he just feels really hyper. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make it, I think my Nutty basically has ADHD. I think it would make sense if he actually did have ADHD in the show. It's okay. I mean, I understand how people feel about JoJo. Good memes. Good memes. Okay, there we go. Now I'm coloring in his eyes. There we go. All done. Ah, no, come back, Charger. Muzzle, huh? Are any of you guys Sonic the Hedgehog fans? And if you are you guys excited for the live action movie coming out next year? Because I certainly am. And I know a lot of people are saying some things about Sonic's design and how like they're like kill it with fire. I'm just like, oh yeah, real mature. I don't know what else I expected from the Sonic fandom. Definitely not a positive reaction. It's just like everyone is just being so freaking immature about it. No one's being positive at all. It's just like, wow, really? Everyone, like, I've seen a few people that are actually being positive and optimistic about it, but meanwhile, a lot of other people are being very immature and throwing a freaking temper tantrum over it because it's not what they're used to seeing. Yeah, Sonic 06. I've heard a lot of people say that it's like the worst Sonic game ever, and I honestly agreed with them mostly because at the time I didn't know how to form my own damn opinions. But now I'm just like, oh, wow, well, I need to stop talking like an idiot and actually form my own opinions. I I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, the graphics in it are awesome. The story is actually pretty interesting, and the glitches, okay, the glitches we can all live without. But it's not a completely terrible game. It's not the worst game ever. I mean, I haven't played it myself personally, but I've seen gameplay of it and it actually looks like a pretty fun game aside from the glitches and everything. But like the story was not terrible. It was like the story and the graphics themselves, it was not terrible. And like the music was especially like the music was like some of the best music I'd ever heard, especially the His World and also Dreams of an Absolution. Dreams of an Absolution was like one of the best songs from a Sonic game ever. In the nightlight, do you see what you dream? All your troubles, are they all what they seem? Look around you, then you may realize all the creatures saw with the light. And I know, oh gosh, I forget the lyrics. It's been so long. 'Cause every night I will save your life, and every night I will come to you, and every night I still lay awake and I dream of an absolution. And I think Silver and Blaze and Mephiles were pretty cool characters. I mean, obviously Mephiles is the worst because like he freaking killed Sonic. And but design wise and like story wise, it was actually very interesting. Gosh, I haven't talked about my love for Sonic in such a long time. And I think I just kind of got scared out of being a Sonic fan because people would always bully me about my love for Sonic. I guess they just thought I was stupid and I didn't know the lines between reality and fiction, which there was a small part of me that was like, no, this is what true realness is or whatever. But like I think I got scared out of being a Sonic fan because I was bullied so much about it. Hello, Funtime Roxy 100 Fun. Hmm. And while I'm not the Sonic fan that I used to be, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because I did some pretty cringy stuff as a Sonic fan, um, I still really appreciate Sonic because it was something that I played when I was a kid, and I actually was really into it, and I just never, I didn't really make a whole lot of friends when I was a Sonic fan, though. I just feel like I appreciated Happy Tree Friends a lot more because the fandom was not really bad and everyone not and I didn't meet a whole lot of frickin' critical dumb jerks. Yeah. Seriously, they're all just a bunch of fucking whiners. Just like, oh, they're just like, oh, this is you don't like this because it looks different. Well, shut up. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. And if you really are a fan of this, then maybe you'll look at it from a different perspective and maybe you'll give it a chance before you rip it to shreds just because it's what you're not used to seeing. You don't have to like everything about it. You don't have to you don't have to like everything about it, but that doesn't mean you have to tear it to shreds like a bloodthirsty animal. That just makes you a freaking jerk, honestly. Anyway, let's not talk about this anymore. It's doing something to my sanity and I don't like it. If you're gonna join a fandom, you have to be willing to put up with everything that it throws at you. To a certain extent, I mean. No, I don't need that. Never mind. Okay. Hang on. Okay, I found Bubbly Blue. Freaking gay name for a pencil color. I'm just gonna use red orange because it doesn't look any different from red anyway. Green. In his world, where life is strong, in this world, life's an open book. In this world, where compromise does not exist. In his world of worlds, every step meets the risk. Yeah, like Sonic 06 had some of the best freaking music ever. Zebrahead did a cool job on that song, and Crush 40, they did an amazing job with that song too. Crush 40 is one of the best bands ever. They did a lot of the music for the earlier Sonic games, like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, Sonic Heroes. They did a lot of really cool music. It's just impressive. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Isn't the To Be Continued meme song from JoJo? Or was I misinformed about that? Like that whole ding 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 ding. Like is that from JoJo? Because I think it is from JoJo. And why can't I find this one shade of blue that I need? No. No. Oh, is that it? Is that it? Is that? Yes, I found it. No, I haven't heard of that YouTuber. Sorry, I haven't heard of Radical Soda. That's a pretty cool username, though. Very creative. I think my biggest fear about entering any fandom is that whether or not I'm gonna be met with a bunch of jerks. Of course, you're always gonna find jerks in a fandom, but what I'm really scared of is finding that the fandom is full of nothing but jerks. I said but. Yeah, I swear. Have you guys ever been in a fandom that was full of nothing but jerks? That's good, Sugar Cookie. That's good. I actually love sugar cookies personally. Like those soft cookies that have the kind of stiff icing and the sprinkles on top, the ones that kind of crumble apart when you bite into them. Those are like some of my favorite cookies ever. My mom actually made some chocolate chip cookies like yesterday. She made a lot of chocolate chip cookies, and they're still chewy and soft, and I really like it. Really? I don't know. I've never seen the SpongeBob fandom. I mean, the most I've seen is frickin' memes, like with the impact text. I actually made some SpongeBob memes of my own, where there's that one with SpongeBob going like this, very bored, where he's like, "I'll have you know." My text was, "I'll have you know, I draw only happy tree friends because I'm obsessed." That was my caption. No, I haven't seen the Illumination Entertainment Grinch movie. I haven't seen it. My sister has, though. She really liked it, but then again, she's 7, so I'm not saying that that means that her opinion doesn't matter, but like, she's 7 and that's a cartoon, so of course she's probably gonna like it. I honestly like some of the modern episodes because, like, the animation is a lot sharper and Tom Kenny's voice is like, it's not as like low pitched anymore. It just seems to fit Sonic. No, it just seemed Sonic. Why do I keep saying Sonic? SpongeBob's voice seems to fit him a lot better when it's more high pitched instead of low and gravelly. I don't know what to consider the comment sections on my videos. Not like I ever really get any comments either. Most of the comments I get on my streams are like comments from people saying, "Sorry I missed it, sorry I missed it," or "Damn it, I missed it! Ah!" Oh, yes, of course it's sad. It's sad when anyone passes away. I mean, even Osama bin Laden, I'm sure even though he was a horrible, horrible terrorist, I'm sure there were some people who were very sad about his death. And even though I wasn't the biggest fan of SpongeBob, I still think it's pretty sucky that that his that the creator of SpongeBob died. I was more broken up about the death of Stan Lee. You know, Stan Lee and I actually have something in common. His favorite Marvel superhero is Spider-Man, and that's actually my favorite Marvel superhero. And by the way, I actually recently saw Into the Spider-Verse, best Spider-Man movie ever. I was honestly really skeptical about it because I thought it was going to be just completely far-fetched and way too silly, and it was really silly, but at the same time, it was hella lit. It was awesome. It was action packed and really heavy at times, and the animation was just gorgeous and colorful. It was just really awesome. And it was really cool to see all these cool glitchy effects on it as well. Well, I won't spoil anything for you. I can't decide what my favorite part was, though. You know when you go see a movie in the theaters and you kind of forget what all the different parts were the first time, so you want to go see it more, and then you're just like, okay, yeah, now I can decide what my favorite part is now that I've seen it over and over again. There were some parts of that movie where I almost cried. When I saw the trailer, it was very discreet. I thought the animation was like claymation, and it did kind of look like claymation, but obviously it wasn't. It combined things like CGI and 2D animation. It just it just blew me away. The animation was friggin' gorgeous. People were insulting him. Gosh. Chester Barrington, who's that? That name sounds familiar to me, but I don't know why. Alright, you can tell us the lyrics to the song. Go right ahead. You did, huh? I also made an Undertale playlist. I made a playlist of like my favorite Undertale videos that I've seen. I think one of my favorite Sonic games ever was Sonic Heroes. I think that game came out in like 2003. It was really good. I mean, some of the controls were a bit slippery and I could live without them, but playing on a GameCube is like the most lit thing ever because GameCubes are where GameCubes, Nintendo 64s, Super Nintendos, DSs, that's where it's at. And also Game Boys. I miss playing on a Game Boy. I actually had a Game Boy growing up. I think one of my favorite Game Boy games was Hamtaro Ham Ham Heartbreak. It was basically based off of that Hamtaro anime, or I don't know if the anime was based off the games, but basically you play as these two little hamsters named Hamtaro and Bijou, and you can actually rename them in the game if you want, but their original names are Hamtaro and Bijou. But you play as them, and basically what you're supposed to do in the game is you're supposed to restore love, romantic or otherwise, between certain characters in the game. And you're supposed to defeat this devil-looking creature called Spat, who is breaking up all the love all over where these Hamtaro creatures hang out. Oh, it is, huh? Well, we already have one thing in common. Oh, I know this. This is the lyrics for Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People. I hear noises upstairs. I can't believe I put turquoise away. Whoopsies. Really? Of course I've heard of Linkin Park. I am a very big fan of. Oh, wait. Is Chess. Oh my gosh. I'm such a freaking idiot. Chester Bennington, that was the guy from Linkin Park, right? The one that committed suicide? Is that the Chester? Is like I knew his name sounded familiar. Cuz if so, yes, I do know who that is. Yes, I know who Linkin Park is. I'm a very big fan of Linkin Park, and I do know if that's the same Chester, then yes, I do know who you're talking about, Bunny Balloon. Oh God, I feel so stupid. Oh, so dumb. I literally only know two band members' names. I know there's Mike Shinoda and Chester, whatever his last name was, and I know that he's dead because he committed suicide. I don't know why he committed suicide though. It always sucks when a famous celebrity dies because, like, you whenever someone dies, it just takes a while to sink in because it doesn't even seem like something that's real until you realize this is real. That person is actually gone. And it's a lot harder when it's someone that you're really close to. All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, they better run, outrun my gun. All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, you better run, faster than my bullet. That song just screams, shooting gangs, gangbang, whatever. You have 9 subscribers, huh? I have 1,000 something, which I just recently reached, which again, thanks so much everybody. I didn't think that I'd ever reach 1,000. I just thought I was too shitty for that. That's okay. You don't have to like that song. Okay, I'm almost done with this page. I just need to color in the backgrounds, which is basically just the sky. So I'm basically going to have to commit murder on this light ocean blue pencil. So you're going to watch me commit murder on a pencil. So just be warned. Welcome back, Sicky. Good to have you here, bud. Just feels good to have all my usuals come back in here. I don't know what the song is about. I've heard a lot of people say it's about school shootings, and then I hear a lot of people say, no, it's not about that at all. So I don't know what to believe. But from what the lyrics are saying, I have to assume that yes, it is about school shootings. And everyone else is just drunk or high or probably both. You know what other cartoon I miss? I miss I miss what was it called? The Fairly Odd Parents. Like it ended last year and I kind of like The Fairly Odd Parents was like favorite one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows. A lot of the old Nickelodeon shows really had it, especially the 2D animated ones. I also miss Danny Phantom, but my cousin and aunt recently bought the entire series, like the full series on DVD. Like it's a collection, it's a DVD collection of all the episodes. Like cartoons were savage back then. Oh yeah, the anti-fairies were fun. The pixies were also fun, oddly enough, even though they were designed to be boring. It's just how boring they were when they were just like when they screamed, they were just like ah, and it was funny how they're just so they just talk so monotony, and it was just so weird and funny, oddly enough. Oh, yeah, Teen Titans Go. Ugh. I find some things likable about that show. I mean, the animation isn't terrible, and the opening song is actually pretty catchy. I know it's just like a remix of like the original song, but it's actually pretty catchy. And the animation's not terrible. But the real reason why I hate it is because everything about it is just pointless. It's just so weird and so unlike it. Like, okay, the original Teen Titans show had like it had comedy and stupid moments in it, but it also had like emotions and drama and like these friendships with love in them. Now everyone's just shallow. Everyone's just like, oh, that person died. I don't care. It was bound to happen, or I totally called that. It's just, ugh. I don't really know a whole lot about Adventure Time, mostly because I wasn't allowed to watch it. But I've heard some good things about it, actually. You watched a movie today? That's awesome. Here we go. What do you think? Of all the are you kidding me right now? No, I didn't come all this way for nothing. I should get in as close as possible and listen in. Maybe I'll learn something. I actually had a lot of fun drawing some of the poses on this page. Thank you, Siki. Thank you, piece of trash. That's very nice of you to say. On the next page, we have Flippy in his house, and he's just handing Flaky the flowers that he got her. And she's just like blushing and shying away. And she's like, "Oh, Flippy, you didn't have to. Thank you so much." And he's just like blushing, thinking to himself, "Oh my gosh, she's too cute." I don't know if I want to do any more line art pages. Like, I don't know if I want to color any more pages right now, but I don't know. And then she just like sniffs the flowers and she smiles like a happy little bean. And he's like, "So I take it you like them?" And she's like, "Yes." And he says, "I hoped you would." And then she giggles and then he says, "But I may have found a solution for our problem." And she says, "Oh, do tell." I kept some of the dialogue the same from the original page. Oh, I hate when I forget to do that. That's just like the most embarrassing thing ever. But if I manage to catch it early, then I'm fine. All right. Good night, Sugar Cookie. I hope to see you on more of my streams. And Flippy says, "Well, seeing as how you refuse to leave me, I had to think of a solution to our problem. I thought back to a few months I thought back to a few months ago when I almost cured my PTSD completely. But that night when you stabbed my eye with glass and I died, well, after I came back to life, I had several night terrors and I was driven back into madness." And then Flaky is just thinking to herself, "I remember that night too. I'm such a freak, being afraid of the guy who wanted to help me." And then Flippy just goes in for a kiss and he just kisses her unexpectedly and pulls away and says, "Don't blame yourself, Flakes." And she says, but how did you know I was?" And then he says, "Your face." And I even drew a little heart next to his words. All right, I'll make sure. And I also look forward to reading the new version of that story because I just freaking love it so much. I have no clue. Well, just try to make it work as best you can, Crasher. And then Flippy says, my basic plan is this. I think the longer I keep him out, the further away I can drive him. Not saying it will keep him away forever, but just until your ankle heals. And Flaky's just looking contemplative. And then she says, okay, I mean, what do we have to lose? And he says, yeah, that's the spirit, Flakes. And then she says, besides, it might even be fun. And Flippy says, really? And Flaky says, yeah, at least I get to spend more time with you. And then she just does her little, ah ha 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 ha. That's like her iconic thing. And then Flippy is just blushing and he's like, geez, Flaky, I must be red as a beet right now. And then she says, beets aren't red, they're purple, which they are. And then he says, aw, Flaky, you're so smart. And she's just blushing and trying not to smile, but she's failing miserably. I'm going crazy here. Hey there, welcome. I don't think I've ever seen you around, so welcome, newcomer. So nice to see ya. Alright then, sounds good. Yeah, I'm gonna do some more line art because why the fuck not? Oh yeah. That was like her debut episode too, wasn't it? Okay. Okay. Oh, I need that color. I need red, orange. I seriously grabbed out the wrong page. Whoopsie! Yeah. Sucks when you have to leave friends behind. But that's part of life. You'll lose people. But that doesn't mean you stop letting other people in. Circling ahead, and contemplating everything you've ever said. But now that's over. I see your fantasies. You wanna make it a reality, bathed in gold. Set up our head, yeah. I see your motives inside. Decisions to hide. Ah, back off, I'll take you on. Headstrong, take on anyone. I know that you are wrong. Headstrong, we're headstrong. Back off, I'll take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone. I know that you are wrong, and this is not where you belong. Mm. All right, bye. Oh, there we go. Okay, hmm, I think I'm gonna change how his mouth looks. Hang on. I'm struggling, guys. Struggling. I love your drawings, Bunny Balloon. You're so much more talented than me. There we go. That looks better. What are you struggling with, Floor? Ah, foot, don't fall asleep. Your arms, huh? What's up with your arms? Okay, did I miss anything? Nope. Aw, no, stop it. That's so nice of you to say. Foot, stop falling asleep. Mm. Ah! No, 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 fall. No, 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 no. Yeah, but you just have a whole lot more experience than me, I guess. Your art just looks so much more professional. I think the hardest part about being a superhero is that you're off is that the people you love often suffer the consequences. Of course, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be a hero, and that doesn't mean that you should shut all your loved ones out. It just means you have to try your best, and even if things don't work out, you can say that you tried and you will continue to try and you will continue to make the world a better place in spite of what anyone ever tells you. All right. Good night. Thanks for stopping by. Of course, I want to improve, and I see myself improving. Hey, Bunny Balloon, I don't know if you saw on my amino page, but I made a thing with Flickbee for like Christmas. I don't know if you saw it, but it was basically just an artwork of him eating cookies in a Santa suit, and it said Merry Floofmas on it. I don't know if you saw it, but I'm pretty proud of it. I actually made it in my digital art and photography class, and I'm gonna get it on a t-shirt, like a one of a kind t-shirt for myself. A chimera, huh? Is that how you pronounce it? Chimera or chimera? I don't know. Oof. Yeah, I have a print of it right here. Hang on. The colors look a little more saturated on the print, but it still looks pretty good. I made this on Adobe Illustrator. So freaking weird. He's just like, ah. Do you think that if he took a bite into that cookie, it would leave jagged marks in it? Because I don't know if you guys ever saw this movie. It's like an old Disney Channel movie called The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. It was basically about a kid who relied on his dreams for comfort, but he was slowly losing sight of them, and he had these two dream creations called Shark Boy and Lava Girl. And basically one night he was lurking about his house and he found that his mom made these giant cookies for his class, and he what is it? He found that the cookies that his mom made, some of them were like they were pretty much all half eaten, and one of them was singed, and another one had like shark bites out of it. It was like pretty much a jagged, like I don't know. It looked like mountains. Yeah, but like seriously, you think he just goes like, and then it just looks like a shark bit it or something? just flaky. I will take you down. And he's just like, I'm sorry, but it feels like I'm being threatened by a cupcake. Oh, oh yeah, I remember that scene. Yeah, I never liked Linus because he was a jerk to Max. Oh, I've read that. I've read that fan fiction. Oh my gosh, I've read that. It's so cute. I'm sorry. I need this pillow. That's a big freaking mood. It's so freaking cute. I'm gonna lose. Jeebus Crimbles, I'm losing my shit right now. Oh, jeez. I wish there was something that I couldn't get enough of that I could sing about a little bit. I can't get enough of that sugar crisp, sugar crisp, sugar crisp. I can't get enough of that sugar crisp. Keeps me going strong. Can you just imagine? Can you just imagine Flickby saying, "I have a right to bear arms, because I am a bear." I'm gonna die. I don't know why I'm freaking die here. Oh, jeez. What have you guys done to me? What have I made you guys do to me? You're bringing out my freaking fangirl side, man. You're making me I'm gonna die here, guys. I'm gonna die. Yes, yes, he does. I saw this shit post on Tumblr. Uh, I can't remember what it was. It was like this quote thing with Splendid and Flickpy, where he was like, where Splendid was like, um, I don't remember what he said, but it just had Flickby replying as maybe because I'm a dangerous sociopath with like the intent to murder, and then Splendid's like, oh yeah, and then Flickby's like, I don't understand how you keep forgetting that. Jeez. Hello, it's very nice to see you, Bonnie, the editor, 2018. What's happening right now is I'm fangirling and losing my shit. And also I'm singing about Sugar Crisp. Alright then. I was talking last stream about why I make him call Flaky pet names. I was talking about the pet names thing, and the reason why I do that is because I have seen so many different fan fictions where he just calls her by so many different pet names. It's just kind of a cliche I see, and it's a cliche that I love. Whether he does it to frighten her or creep her out, or where he's trying to flirt with her, but he just ends up coming across as creepy anyway. But either way, I just see a lot of people use, like, he calls her pet names. Like, I saw a common pattern with a lot where he just, like, he calls her Flakes, Flakers, Baby Doll, Love, Princess, or whatever. Dear, my dear Flaky, where it's like a freaking villain thing. I think we're all in agreement that Flickby is a sly bastard. He's a sly freaking bastard. I can just imagine him going over to Flaky and just being like, I know I might come across as a perverted jerk to you, and you are absolutely right, 100%. I am a perverted jerk. But if you let me show you some other sides of me, maybe you might find that I'm actually not too bad. And then he's just like, "Oh, who am I kidding? I'm the worst." But my point is basically I want to let you know that I'm not a horrible person, even though I am a horrible person. And oh my god, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Never mind. That's so funny. Oh, that would be so freaking funny. It's just like, hey, aren't you the guy that destroyed me in a fight last week? Oh yeah, sure, yeah, yeah, good times. Same time next week? Oh yeah, but this time I'm gonna destroy you. And then he's just like, haha, no, fuck you. It's just so freaking dumb. I love it. I remember I was reading this one fan fiction that is pretty much discontinued, but it was pretty good from what I read. Um, there was this thing where Flippy was like talking to Flickby in the mirror, where he's like, he's trying to make him promise not to come out and ruin everything, and he's just. I remember in the end of the chapter, he's like, "So where are we going exactly?" And then Flippy's like, "Oh, not much. We're just going out to a restaurant with a bunch of people." And then Flippy's like, "You cruel, cruel motherfucker." Yes, yes, exactly. I actually have stickers right up here of Underfell Sands and regular Sands. They both have halos over their head, except for Sands's halo is blue and Fell Sands's halo is red. And Undertale Sands has little angel wings, and Fell Sands has little devil wings. They're really cute looking. I'm not involved. I'm not involved in this, so. And then Flippy's like, "Get your ass back here. You're mine." Jeez, I'm losing my shit here. Oh, did I seriously just put away the red when I still need it? Scheiß! You know what I don't get? Like, why do guys get lower when they're checking out a girl's booty? They're like, damn, damn, damn. That's a Christian Del Grosso vine, by the way. He's really funny. You should look him up. Don't you just hate when your moms do this? Emily! Yeah. Emily! Yeah, I said yeah. Emily! Yes, I did. I hate when my mom does that. It's so annoying. I'll check Bunny Blown. I'm going to check my messages once I'm done with this. Oh shit, it's midnight. I need to finish up the stream. Hang on, I'm just gonna finish outlining Flippy's jacket. There we go. Alright. I'm gonna end off the stream here, guys. It's midnight. But Bunny Balloon, I'm gonna go into my messages on Amino, and then I'm gonna talk to you for a little bit. So, just be prepared. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go there and talk to you for a little bit, okay? Because I barely ever get to talk to you. Yeah, see you guys. I'm just gonna clean up a little bit, and then I'm gonna end off the stream. Where did that freaking bag go? Here it is. Oh, I'm gonna launch myself to grab this bag. Ready? Wolverine, launch! Got it. You know another. Yeah. You know what another thing I love is? Another thing that Flickby calls Flaky that I love? I love it when he calls her woman. Like, what the hell are you doing, woman? And then he's just like, damn it, woman! Yeah. That's a cool way to say goodbye. See you guys. I'm just talking.